め合わせはここでするから。
What is going on, fellow YouTubers? Shadow Gamer AX with another little video in top 10 for you guys today. And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a top 10 video for you guys. Now this is a new little scene that I thought I'd give you guys instead of the old same old podcast, boring podcast. So if you want to see more top 10s like this, please be sure to show your support by smashing that like button. And without further ado, let's get started. Now, please keep in mind that my top 10 list is based solely on my opinion, which means if you were looking for like one of those popular ranks, then you're SOL in that scenario. This is just basically doing this for fun. It's my opinion on this, and just so you guys know ahead of time. So let's get started, guys. Coming in at number 10, we have Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoha. The dub version, not the sub version. So I really felt like they should have continued the dub version in my opinion, because it was one of the most unique anime that was actually English dub. I certainly feel like it should have gotten like at least dubbed the strikers, for crying out loud. But aside from that, you know, it was a good show. I really liked it, and I was always eager to find out what happened after A's. So, but then again, I can always watch the English sub version with no problem now. But it still would have been nice to see that show being dubbed like a what if scenario. But maybe I could do that in the future, or talk about it, or maybe do an essay. I don't care, whatever. But the point is, I really felt like this show had a lot of potential when it was dubbed. Like, I liked the dub actors that voiced it, and they did a great job on it. I hated to see that discontinue. But what are you gonna do? Coming in at number 9, we have His and Her Circumstances. Now, the reason why it makes this list is more or less the reason. I felt like this show ended too sooner than it wanted to. Like, I would have loved to see the what happened after that 26 episode aired. Mainly with that arc with now I know in the manga version there was a story that Yukino was pregnant with Arima's kid, and I would love to see how, like, the name speaks for itself. I would love to see the circumstances with the father, Yukino's dad, and what would happen after that. I mean, it's definitely something to think about. You could call me whatever, but I really like those types of scenarios when, the main character is forced to make a decision, kind of like what happened with Nana. It's just a standard, typical, reaction. But it always triggers something in the end, which I thought was pretty good. Was a good add-on for when it come to Nana, and it was just took them by surprise, whereas her friends took her by surprise. That what made Nana pretty good too, and that's why I really do think it deserves a second season, another series as well, or second or third season. But back on time, but I digress. Back on the main subject at hand. His and Her Circumstances had a lot of potential. I just felt like it ended too sudden. All of the unanswered questions are still unanswered in the anime, which is why I think it at least deserves like either an OVA or a movie or something on that arc, or the next arc where it left off. Which is kind of like, you gotta have it happen, man. You gotta have it happen. I love that show for what it was. Coming in at number 8, we have, the first part is hard to pronounce. Archiastic Records of a Bastard Magic Instructor. Oh shit, I really love this show. Now, the reason why it makes this list is because of the main character. I think his name is Glenn Radars. Yeah, it was. One point being why I think this should be a season 2 in this top 10 list is mainly because of the last episode. Now, if you guys have seen the anime, you'd know that Glenn was facing off against his mortal enemy. I can't think of the name right now. I'm not gonna try. But he basically won the fight, and the mortal enemy escapes Glenn's sight, fleeing. And he said something about justice and will prevail, or something like that. I felt like that had, from that scene entirely, that would have been like a motivation to do a season 2, because that answered, or at least a movie or an OVA, because that was an answer that still has left, that wasn't answered in the final episode. And I would love to see that story arc being completed in the anime or the movie, or if they decide to do an OVA, which is very, very cool in my book. But, you know, there's a lot of them that weren't answered. But, you know, what you gonna do? Number 7, Ghost Hunt. No, Ghost Hunt, not Haunt. Ghost Hunt. I really feel like this should have gotten a season 2. Just because of how good and how brilliant they handled the season 1 version. I mean, the relationship between Mai and Kazuya would have been an amazing part to actually see and you know, experience again. And this time, why not have Mai being together with Kazuya? Yeah? If that's okay? Please, give me a season 2. For the love of God, give me a season 2! But I did, but it's all wishful thinking at this point, but, you know, a guy can dream, can he? Moving right along. Well, no, I'm not moving along. This has to have a season 2. I mean, this was an amazing series that, you know, a lot of stories, and it's like Ghost Adventures anime style, and I loved every single minute of it, guys. Check out Ghost Hunt if you have not already. Now I'm moving on. Number 6, we have Ventress Virus Venus. One of the best shows I can probably, and one of the most confusing, if I'm not mistaken, and if memory serves me correctly, that's why it's on this list. No, seriously, that's why it's on this list. It's so fucking confusing. It's just weird. It's also frustrating, in a way. But let's get into why it's on this list. Now, one of the main problems I have with this anime is the ending itself. There was just kind of like making you guess kind of scenario, but it really didn't make me guess. It made me wonder why they ended that way. Where Sumire, no, we'll call her Takahana. Takahana was in a battle with Lola, if I'm not mistaken. I think Lola's her name, Lola. And she, I guess, herself was a virus at the point of that battle. Now, the battle was still going on towards the end of the episode, or the last episode. Now, what I don't understand about this anime is, why did it leave it like that? Why did it end without any like a conclusion of that battle? What happened at the end of that battle? That's what I like to know. If anyone knows, or anyone read the manga, please let me know in the comments down below. What the hell just happened after that battle? Like, it was in the middle of that battle where it ended. But nevertheless, I did really enjoy the fucking hell out of this show. It was really, really good, except for the ending. But it did have a lot of unanswered questions, which I really believed that it would have gotten to season 2 if they played their cards right. If they had to bring out a season 2, which I really hope they do in the long run. I really hope they make this fucking thing happen. Yeah. Oh boy. And the worst part is we ain't even halfway done. Number 5. Tokyo ESP. God, I love this I love this series. I love how Tokyo ESP Season 1 ended, and I really hope they get a Season 2. One of the reasons being is at the end of the anime where they were on the rooftop and everyone was doing their own thing after that battle ended with the professor, and I think they had the potential. They had the writers. I think they had a good idea to do a season 2. I mean, it would have been awesome to see all the returning cast, all of the characters in action right after that point. I mean, they could have done, if they got some good storyliners or some good story people to write the story for it. It would have been awesome, man. Number 4. Oh god, I love this series to death. At number 4 is Haganai. In English translation, it means I don't have many friends. Now, here's where it gets kind of tricky. The reason why I say it has to have like a new season, or at least a new series or a movie or an OVA completing that scene from season 2, was because Yozora and Kotaka was basically in an argument. And towards the end of the episode for the season finale of season 2, Yozora gets on the bus and gives Kotaka a text saying like, I'm kind of leaving town now. But now the reason why I say you could probably do a movie or an OVA or a new series is basically focusing on that scenario. Movies, yes. Series, no. But it would make sense for them to make another movie. Like one movie would freaking be a good idea to end the series or the anime on a high note. I felt like it ended too soon for the final, like the very final ending of the anime. But let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see a Haganai movie? I know I would. Now, number 3, guys, we're almost at the halfway point. Number 3 is Skip Beat. Yes, Skip Beat. I love Skip Beat. Part of the reason why I love Skip Beat is the whole scenario of it. I loved it. Now, the reason why I think they should get a season 2 is basically on that point with Kyoko and Ren. Towards the end, it kind of had a lot of questions unanswered on that. Number 2, Princess Nine. God, I love Princess Nine. Baseball animes back in the 90s were fucking awesome. They were superb. Everything about this show was to perfection. And yes, guys, if you watch this anime, you'll find Vic Mignogna as the male lead of the series. I love that dude. I love his work. He also did the Ren's manager on Skip Beat. But Princess Nine is one of those shows that I really wish they had a season 2 for it. Mainly because at the end of the episode, they lost the game for Koshien. Now, what if they had year 2? Like, what if they continued that series from the ground up? It would have been amazing for season 2 to finally reach their goal of winning Koshien. That would have been amazing. I especially love you could also have, Vic's character, Hiroki, and Hilary Hang's character, Hang, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She plays Yo Haikawa. As a couple, it would have been amazing just to see the chemistry between the two. And, you know, I would love to see more of their relationship if it had a season 2. But I understand why they didn't make a season 2. I guess it was just from story purposes, or they didn't want to continue it. It was just fine the way it was. Either way, it was a good idea. So, number 1, sitting at the number 1 spot and still my top list. Oh, God. Keijo, my friends. Keijo. Speaking of sports anime, this had to have been the best series I have ever watched back in 2016. For my reasons being, there was a lot of potential for Keijo to have a season 2. I mean, you could have like the next stage of their career. Nozomi entering the professional league, having her learning from all the other Keijo players. It would have been amazing just to see Nozomi learning from all the professional Keijo players and doing matches and braces with them. It would have been amazing to see a season 2, but, you know, knowing how effed up the community is, it wouldn't probably work out anyway. But guys, that is my video for my top 10. Thank you so much for all the love and support. If you want to see some more videos on my other top 10 lists, please click right here and on the screen in a moment. I want to thank you guys for watching this video all the way through. For those of you that have been supporting my channel, thank you so much for love and support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.